She remembered your birthday 2 days late. She liked every single post on your feed except the one where you got the promotion. She always says she's so happy for you, right before she quietly changes the subject back to herself. If you just felt a small, uncomfortable pinch in your chest reading that, don't scroll past this. Because somewhere in your life right now, there might be a person you call your best friend who has never actually been one. Not really. Not in the way that matters. And the wildest part, you probably already know it. You've just been too scared to admit it out loud. Welcome back to Velixar. By the end of this video, you're going to have a completely different way of looking at one of your closest relationships. We're not going to just throw a list at you and disappear. We're going to walk through exactly how this kind of friendship usually starts, how it slowly turns into something that drains you, and the one quiet realization that finally makes people walk away for good. So don't skip ahead, because the signs build on each other, and the last one is the one that ties everything together. Let's start with something almost everyone has experienced but rarely names out loud. Think back to the last time something genuinely difficult happened in your life. A breakup that left you shattered, a scary diagnosis, a week so bad you didn't even know how to talk about it. Did this person show up? Did they check in, even with something small? Or did they go quiet, leaving you to sit with it completely alone? Here's the strange part. The same person who vanished during your hardest weeks somehow always finds time to text you the moment they need something. A favor, a ride, someone to vent to about their own drama, help moving apartments on a random Saturday. It's easy to brush this off as a busy schedule or bad timing, especially the first few times. But once it becomes a pattern, once their presence in your life is consistently tied to what they can get instead of what they can give, that's not bad luck anymore. That's the entire shape of the relationship. And once you see that shape clearly, you can't really unsee it. Now here's where it gets a little more uncomfortable, because this next one isn't about what they do. It's about what flashes across their face for half a second before they catch themselves. Watch them closely the next time you share good news. A real friend's eyes light up almost instantly, like your joy is contagious to them. But with a fake friend, you'll catch a tiny flicker of tension first, a smile that takes a beat too long to arrive before they finally say that's great in a tone that doesn't quite match what their face just did. Sometimes it's even less subtle than that. They change the subject fast, or they slide in a backhanded comment dressed up as a joke, something like "must be nice," or "don't let it go to your head." It stings every single time, but you laugh it off because you don't want to seem sensitive over something so small. Except it's not small. It's a pattern of someone who feels like your growth is somehow happening at their expense. And that kind of quiet resentment has no business sitting inside a friendship. This next part is going to feel personal, because it's something almost nobody talks about, but it might be the most common sign of all. A real friendship should feel like exhaling. A place where you can show up messy, tired, having a bad day, and still be fully accepted without having to explain yourself. But there's a different feeling that creeps in with fake friendships, a feeling like you're constantly performing, constantly managing how you come across, constantly bracing for some kind of judgment you can't quite name. Do you replay conversations with this person hours later, wondering if you said something wrong or said too much? Do you feel a small flicker of nervousness in your stomach before hanging out with them, even though you couldn't explain why if someone asked you directly? Do you notice yourself quietly editing your personality around them? Smaller opinions, shorter stories, less of yourself than you'd give anyone else. That discomfort is information, even when you don't have words for it yet. Your body usually figures out the truth about a relationship long before your mind is ready to accept it. Here's something that's a little sneakier, and it's exactly why people stay in these friendships for years without realizing what's happening. Watch how this person's loyalty changes depending on who's in the room. If someone is talking badly about you and it's just the two of you together, they might nod along and admit that person was completely out of line. But the second that same person walks into the room, silence. Or even worse, a nervous little laugh along with the joke, like they were never on your side at all. Loyalty that only shows up when no one else is watching isn't loyalty. It's self-protection wearing a friendly mask. And once you notice it, You start noticing it everywhere, in group chats, at parties, in the way they suddenly go quiet whenever defending you might cost them anything socially. Now here's the one we promised you at the start, the one almost nobody catches until the friendship is already falling apart. Fake friends tend to quietly keep score: who texted first, who planned the last hangout, who reached out more during a rough patch. You won't usually hear this directly. Instead, it shows up in sharp little comments dressed up as jokes, things like, "Oh, so now you have time for me," or "I always have to be the one who plans everything." It sounds casual. It sounds like teasing between friends. It isn't. It's resentment quietly building underneath the surface, because somewhere along the way, this friendship stopped being a connection and turned into a transaction, a ledger of who owes who, instead of two people who simply enjoy showing up for each other without keeping count of every single thing. This next one hits different, because it's about something you trusted them with. You confide in them about something vulnerable, a fear, a family issue, something you've never told anyone else. Weeks later, someone else casually mentions it like it's common knowledge. Your stomach drops in that instant. When you bring it up instead of owning it, you get defensiveness thrown right back at you. "I didn't think it was a big deal." "You're overreacting." "I only told one person." Somehow you end up looking dramatic for being upset that your trust got handed out like it was nothing. A real friend protects what you share with them like it's fragile, because it is. A fake friend treats your secrets like currency, something to spend for a moment of attention or a good story, never thinking twice about what it costs you. And here's the last piece, the one that ties every single sign together, and honestly, it might be the easiest one to check right now if you think about it. After spending time with a real friend, you usually feel lighter, even if you talked about something heavy. There's a sense of relief, of being understood without having to explain too much. After spending time with a fake friend, you often feel oddly tired, smaller somehow, or strangely empty, even if the conversation seemed totally normal on the surface. Sometimes you need time alone afterward just to feel like yourself again. Your energy genuinely does not lie, even when your mind tries to talk you out of what your body already knows. If you consistently leave interactions with someone feeling worse about yourself than you did before you saw them, that's not a coincidence you should keep explaining away with excuses about a bad mood or a long day. So here's the truth nobody tells you enough about all of this. Recognizing a fake friend isn't about becoming bitter or distrustful of everyone close to you. It's about finally learning to trust yourself again, trusting that uneasy feeling you've been quietly pushing down for months, maybe even years, trusting the pattern you noticed a long time ago, but talked yourself out of because the truth felt too painful to sit with. You don't owe anyone a friendship that costs you your peace, your confidence, or your sense of who you are. Letting go of a fake friend isn't losing something valuable. It's finally making room for the kind of friendship that actually deserves you. The kind that shows up uninvited during your hardest weeks without you having to ask. The kind that celebrates your wins like they're their own. The kind that protects your trust without question and makes you feel completely safe just being yourself. No editing required, no performance necessary. If this video describes someone in your life, we're not going to tell you exactly what to do next. Walking away, setting a boundary, having one honest conversation, only you know what's right for your specific situation. But hopefully, this gave you the clarity and the language to finally see the pattern for exactly what it is, instead of explaining it away one more time. If something in this hit a little too close to home, let us know in the comments which part felt the most familiar. And if there's someone in your life who needs to hear this today, go ahead and send it to them. You might be exactly what they needed to finally see things clearly too. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.